Welcome to Optimal Timelines. I am your guide, Sean Collins, in helping you to connect to your most optimal future timeline. So it's going to be your monthly Tarotscope readings for the month of March 2022. And remember, you're going to want to watch two videos, one for your North Node by sign and one for your North Node by house. Now, if you're new to the channel, the reason I use the North Node in the readings as opposed to your sun sign, moon sign, or ascendant is because it's recognized in astrology that the North Node is your life's purpose, what you were born to do and accomplish in this lifetime. So I find it's much more relevant across the board for people's lives. So let's get started on the readings. So this is going to be your monthly Tarotscope readings for everybody with their North Node in Cancer and or the fourth house. I'm going to connect to the energies and we can begin. I call upon my spirit guides and guardians and the wisdom of my ancestors to bring forth the information that's true and correct for all who see this reading, that it may bring them the most beautiful, happy life possible and set them on their most optimal future timeline. So may it be. Okay, so the spread on this side of the table represents the first half of the month from the 1st to the 15th. This side represents the second half of the month from the 16th to the end. And I did something this month like I did last month. I did a book divination or a lithomancy with the book Jan Spiller's Astrology for the Soul, great North Node book. And what came up for you North Nodes in Cancer and or the fourth house was something really interesting. It was parental roles. And I'll explain that. Parental roles, like parental figure roles, okay? And making sense of it is what this is all about. Now, what do I mean by that? Okay, when you look at the Cancer, okay, North Node in Cancer or South Node in Capricorn, okay? So you look at the polarity of Cancer and Capricorn. Cancer is ruled by the moon and Capricorn ruled by Saturn, okay? That the moon represents the mother, Saturn represents the father. So, authority, structure of Saturn, okay? The father figure, okay? Mother, as I said, represent the moon, nurturing, taking care of everything that encompasses. Okay, so what you see when you have your North or South Node in either Cancer or Capricorn, or in the fourth house, and you see, or the 10th house, you see a lot of people that have this placement, and I know a lot of people with these placements. They have a lot of important things that happen through parents, through parental figures, okay? Through their mother, through their father. Now, some of it is really, really good, and some of it's really, really not so good, okay? And can be very, very intense. So you see that in different degrees. What parent it happens depends on the placement, but you see a lot of very strong parental situations that happen. Now, what I'm seeing for this half of the month, okay, for the first half, is there is a situation where you're trying to make sense of something that had happened either through your parents or, by your parents or something of that. And even if it's not directly seemingly related, it is related. So like what I mean by that is sometimes, like for example, we are affected by parental figures in ways that they play out in our life in different ways. So like for example, let's just say, I'm going to take it off the top of my head. Remember I said there could be good things or bad things. Let's just say that like a child is like super, super spoiled either by both their parents or by like let's say their mother, okay? It could end up later in their life, a situation happens and it affects them, and other people or they don't make a direct correlation that, oh wow, that's because that person was so spoiled. Or it could be the opposite. Let's say like one of the parents was super hard on that person and affected their self-esteem. So something happens in their life and their self-esteem is down, and they're affected by that, okay? And it can go both. It could be positive too. But that's what we're seeing here is, I think this first half of the month there is going to be some dealings with things that of a healing that needs to take place regarding parental figures of some sort. Now, as I said before, it could be something to where we're not even aware on a conscious level of what it is. Like, for example, let's say a person has trouble fully believing in themselves, okay? They might not even be consciously aware that a lot of that was because of not being fully supported, through one or both parents. They don't really make that connection, okay? But that's what I'm like, what's happening this first half of the month is there's this kind of struggle, okay? Now, what I see happening is what has to happen is, now this could be because something comes up because of something that is said and is triggering this. So, or there's some sort of news or something, communication that's said and it triggers this. Or it could be something else, but it's going to be something related to parents. So what is it that you have to know? Okay, with your North Node placement in Cancer, one of the things you see, because that South Node is in Capricorn, is, as I said in the beginning, with this polarity of Cancer Capricorn, you see sometimes pretty intense things with parents and parental figures in your life. For you in particular, one of the things that could be is it could be like not feeling love and support from one of your parental figures, and you are not even sure or aware, or you're not even aware of how it's affecting you, okay? So something is going to, like I said, come up and trigger that. Just remember, you are healing this process, okay? And the way to heal this is through, you have to be almost like with these placements, you have to become the parental role that you wish you had or that you needed, if that makes sense. So like if you, for example, didn't get support in or love from that, you have to actually be that for yourself and be that in the world. Because I see that, like a lot of times it's really intense because you feel this like lack and you're not sure why this lack happens. But that's what this is. This is, the Sun card, one of your advice cards is, healing it through, first of all, becoming aware of what it is and why it's coming up, and then just radiating that outward and to yourself. There's really no other way to do it. What happened happened, but in this lifetime, what is particularly important for you is, remember, your goal is to become comfortable with emotions and become comfortable with, that's kind of what I'm feeling for you in this, is like really connecting and feeling deeply. That's the other thing that can happen too with this placement, is you'll see, like, in your past life, like if you're watching this right now, if you have this placement, North Node in Cancer in the 4th house, you've probably gone through really intense emotional situations, and that is just getting you to open up those feelings, because we are meant as humans to have the ability to experience the full spectrum of emotions, and not just a narrow spectrum, but to be able to open up and feel. And that's what your task is in this lifetime. So that parental roles, going off into the second half of the month, I feel like there's going to be a situation in the second half of the month where you are able to see in your lifetime where you can be for others what you didn't have. So if you in this month, you may become aware of areas in your life where you feel lack, like, and it doesn't even have to be necessary parental roles too, any sort of authority figure roles in your life. It could be, teacher, professor, even an older brother or sister, or whatever it is. Those are authoritative roles, in people in our lives. Okay. So, because, a lot of times an older brother and sister, they are kind of like a parental role in a way. So we're healing from that. And what it is this, you have to, whatever lack you feel in this area, and that's what I'm seeing this second half of the month, you give it to yourself. 9 of Pentacles, okay? You are self-contained. You have everything you need. You are not, maybe you didn't get it from the outside, but you have it in with you, and you can give it to others. And that's kind of what I'm seeing, Knight of Cups here, being that, lover of love, and being able to, like, give love freely, okay? And actually giving to others around you what you didn't have. I know that seems weird, because you think, well, or you might not even think about it, but it's like, well, I didn't get it in my life. How am I supposed to give what I don't have? But you do have it. All you have to do is basically be the person in your life that you needed when you needed it. Okay, if that makes sense, okay? Just be the person that you needed, okay? Be that for others, be that for yourself. And what ends up happening is something really, really magical happens, okay? When you are the parental role that you never had, or there was a lacking there, it just opens up your life. So feel all the feelings. If you need to be the moon, if you need to be Saturn, whatever it is, okay, wherever it's lacking. With your South Node in Capricorn, okay, or the 10th house, you've got Saturn down, okay? So a lot of times this is about the moon, it's about feelings, it's about, giving to the world and to yourself what you may have lacked in your life. And when you do that, the whole world opens up, and you are really rewarded for following your North Node. You're rewarded with your optimal timeline. So anyway, I hope this reading was helpful and resonated with you. Thank you so much for watching, liking, sharing, and subscribing. And if you could, yeah, hitting that like button really helps with the algorithm gods. Much love, much appreciation. Remember, if you'd like a personal reading, there's a link in the description box below. And send out a comment, a hi, whatever. I'm really happy to connect with you. Ask any questions. Would love to connect with you through the comments. So again, thank you so much for helping me grow the channel. Much love, much appreciation. Many blessings.